Etwas ist grundsätzlich falsch in der Art, wie wir über Lernen und Technologie nachdenken. Bei Babbel haben wir das schmerzlich gelernt und ich würde gerne ein Learning, was wir gemacht haben, mit Ihnen teilen, in der Hoffnung, dass es vielleicht auch jenseits unserer Firma oder vielleicht auch über die Industrie hinaus sinnvoll sein könnte. Ist das okay, wenn ich auf Deutsch weitermache? Is it okay if I do this in German? Maybe not. Let's try in English. There's something wrong. There's something fundamentally wrong in the way we think about education and technology. At Babbel, we made some tough learnings about this, and I'd like to share some of those in the hope that they might be relevant beyond our company or maybe even beyond language learning. Let me give you some background before. My name is Markus Witte. I'm the CEO at Babbel. Babbel is a technology company in the language learning space. We're the #1 top-grossing language learning app globally, and I'd say we're the clear market leader internationally. Our subscribers count in millions. We crossed the 1 million subscriber mark 2 years ago, and as you'd expect from a tech company, we've been growing since and growing fast. We employ around 600 people in Berlin and in New York. And since 2 years, we are also a US company, Babbel Inc., which is not at all self-explanatory from a European standpoint, because I must admit, as a European, I have certain prejudices or stereotypes about Americans, that they're not good at speaking languages, that they're not interested in learning languages. And I was really glad that this doesn't seem to be the case. It is true, though, that the US is not the easiest country for a language learning company to enter or to market in. It's also true that this is the home of some of our most important competitors. And it's even more rewarding that the US has become one of our largest markets. And it's also among the fastest growing. And that we like, fast, growing, and large. And we're well on track to become the clear market leader also in this country, while there's others that might be better known still. Our subscriber base here is way beyond what any other digital product in the language learning space would have in the US. In August last year alone, 40,000 Americans booked a Babbel course in the US. In January, we saw 70,000 book a subscription with us. So there's good business, good growth here in the US and internationally. But that's not the whole story. Because Babbel is a very mission-driven company. And our mission works from 3 very core concepts. There's everyone. Everyone as in, we want to build a product that really works for a large number of people, not just for a select few, not just for a few language geeks. Early on, we got it in our minds that we would wanted to be something like dental floss, something that really everyone uses, or at least should use. And then there's languages, the multiplicity of them, the diversity of them. Languages help us to connect across geographies, across cultures, across our differences. And there's learning. Learning is in the center of everything we do, not only because we are building a learning product, but also because we are a learning company. We have been learning from the beginning as individuals and as a team. And we had to. And it was painful. In 2007, that's 11 years ago, we were 4 smarty tech guys who wanted to build a language learning product. We had built digital products before. We had no shortage of cutting-edge technology knowledge. We knew our way around digital marketing, so what could potentially be missing, right? So we started to work, and we released the product within a couple of months, and it was a great success. Users came to us in great numbers. TechCrunch loved us. And we knew this is just a beginning. With all the emerging technologies, we could make this so much better. It was a great moment. We really nailed it. Now, had we? The product that we built was great, but it was not great for learning languages. And looking back, it's kind of obvious. Reinventing the way people learn languages without knowing how they have been learning before, just ignoring the whole body of knowledge that's around, seriously? It wasn't some kind of an oops or aha moment for us. It dawned on us over time, and it took several steps. And we tried several things. We crowdsourced language learning material. We licensed the material from publishing houses. We built a language learning community where people can learn from each other. We even built a language learning game to make it more fun. And boy, did we have fun with all the data. It took us 2 years. 2 years until we finally hired people who know how you learn a language, who were experts in that field. They weren't experts in building digital products, and it was for us as techies not always easy to work with them. But all the friction, all the struggle, all the fights that we fought to get to small patches of common ground, that made the difference. And after all, it's plain and easy. Language learning is about people, right? We want to talk to each other. And technology, digital products can tremendously help. But technology is just a tool. And with all the new stuff coming up all the time, with all these emerging technologies, we sometimes think that's a solution. I've seen that a lot of times. Over 10 years in the industry, I've seen that within Babbel and beyond. Today, we employ around 150 experts in language learning. They are teachers, they are pedagogical experts, they are cognitive scientists, they are linguists, very diverse bunch. Some of them speak 5 languages, some of them even more. All of them are on a quest to make language learning better than ever. And they work with our data people, with our engineering people. They drive product development at Babbel. And they build all our language courses in-house. We offer a total of 14 languages that you can learn on Babbel. And you can learn them from 7 display languages. And each of those is a unique combination. So if you learn Spanish and you're an Italian speaker, that's very different than if you're a native English speaker. You have very different challenges. Our coursework reflects that. And if that sounds obvious, why is nobody doing it? It took us some time to learn that as well. And one reason why not so many companies are doing it is it's quite some effort. Because 7 languages to 14 languages is a total of 91 full language courses, from absolute beginner to intermediate and post-intermediate. We're looking at 53,000 different separate lessons. We're looking at 9,000 hours of learning material that had to be produced to get to where we are. And all the lessons have audio that's spoken by native speakers, by real people, not by synthesizers. That made our product a quality that's second to none. And it's not just any content. The content is actually relevant. It's relevant whether you want to order your meal in Italian, if you want to spend your vacation in Mexico, or if you want to have a business meeting in French. It's relevant and built by people who know what they're doing. Every word is placed by them. And that's not just done once, because we're looking at how people use what we produce, and we iterate on that. We change that, and we go on. And yes, there might be some machine learning involved, but that's not the point. The point is that people who know how people learn languages and get the data build and refine the product. And that gets to a point where it actually works. And by working, I don't mean attracting millions of users or being celebrated by tech media. We've been there. That doesn't make the difference. It needs to work for learners. It needs to work for language learners who want to speak a language, and we need to get them speaking in the real world. And can I back that up? Yes. Researchers of the City University in New York looked at different language learning apps. And they found that ours is by far the best and most effective. They found that if you use the app just for 15 hours within 2 months, you get a full college semester worth of Spanish. That's quite encouraging. But it's not only the researchers that give us feedback. It's also our learners themselves. We asked 45,000 of them, and 73% told us that within 5 hours of using the app, or less, they were able to have their first conversation in real life. That is encouraging. That is a lot of happy learners. Now, you probably know that you can't pay salaries by happy customers alone. You can't pay your bills. So after we found out the basics of the product, we had to find out what is a business model that works. And again, we settled for putting the learners in the center. We decided to go for a straightforward premium subscription service that allows us to exclusively and directly work for our learners. So that ad-free premium service brings us in direct alignment with their interests. Because as a language learner, your main challenge is to keep up with it, to stick to it. And we're highly motivated to keep people learning, because if they don't learn, we don't earn. We call that economic alignment. And that brought us to cash flow break-even in 2011. It brought us to be the #1 top-grossing app in the space in the world. And behind all that is that our driving motivation at Babbel are humans. Human experience is at the core of what we do. Some of that we had to learn, and we did. And there's one thing that we should never, ever forget, not at Babbel or not anywhere else in the ad tech industry. Learning is about humans. It's not about machines. Thank you.